Did you know Batman had a manga? And no, I'm not talking about the old Batman manga, the Bat manga. I'm talking about the most recent one, which is called Batman Justice Buster, because I sure as hell had no idea until I waltzed into a Target and I saw it. And boy, oh boy, I gotta tell you, this manga right here is good. Yo, I know you were watching the video before. Don't worry, you're gonna get back to that video. There's a quick intermission. I just want to let you guys know that my independent series, that's right, my series, Next Gen, is out. If you would like to read it, I would gladly appreciate you. You are the number one, my number one fan. I can't believe it. Look at you. Look at you. All you got to do is go to enterhybrid.com. I'll put it, the link is down below or it's on the screen. Either or, you got no other way to it. Head to enterhybrid.com. Start reading Next Gen. It's cheap. In fact, I think the prelude might be free. I don't know. Maybe it's not. Maybe there's only one way to find out by you clicking the link. So, again, it's a series that I worked on. It's a series that it's my baby basically, and getting any support for it would be absolutely astronomically a huge dub. So, yeah, head to enterhybrid.com, help your boy out. And with that being said, okay, go back to your other video. So Batman Justice Buster is a manga that's published by Kodansha. The author is, let me make sure I get this right, is I, Aichi Shimizu and Tomohiro Shimoguchi. So those two are the I'm assuming the writer and the artist for this series. And boy, I got to tell you, I thoroughly enjoyed this. I bought this off of Target based off of the fact that it's Batman and it's Batman in modern manga form, and I wanted to get a read out of it. They've been doing a recent thing with these superheroes of translating them from normal graphic novels here in the West to manga style, and I am all here for it. I love it. I'm looking forward to reading the Spider-Man one, which is I think called Fake Red. So if you guys want to see me talk about that on a video like this, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll be sure to do it. But talking today about Batman Justice Buster, this manga is very interesting because it feels very much familiar. It feels like a proper Batman story. It feels correct, but there are some things that are very different. So if you don't want to get spoiled, if you don't want to know anything, don't worry. I'm not going to spoil it. This is not the video to spoil it. If you do want to see me spoil this volume and any further volumes, be sure to let me know down in the comment sections and I may consider it. But generally speaking, this is a different take on the Dark Knight. This is a different set of eyes that are writing it and basically coming up with new versions. This is not a continuation of anything from any DC universe. This is possibly its own universe within the giant multiverse that is DC. That being said, it's a great addition. I really enjoy the fact that, first of all, this is not going to be spoiling anything because everybody knows the origin story of Batman proper, of his parents dying, coming out of the theater. It shows it in the manga, but it doesn't do it in a way that's like, this is the origin story. We're starting out with that, and that's it. No, it jumps you straight into a story of Batman, and it sort of just continues this story, and it sort of just opens itself up because the world itself is already, everybody's entranced with the world of Batman. He's been out and about for over 75 years, so there's so much they can do, and they don't really have to worry about explaining everything. I mean, already manga doesn't really do that much explaining in other series in to start with, but with Batman, because we already are so fixated on his world, we already know his rogues gallery like the back of our heads. Seeing it in this new version is actually just refreshing, and seeing the fact that they don't really waste any time into fully explaining it, but sort of just letting it be, is something also refreshing because you don't have to worry about having too much over dialogue. In fact, this feels like a manga that's super easy to read, and I am glad that it doesn't get bogged down by any of the dialogue. In fact, the dialogue is actually very well written. It feels like it's not a manga. It feels like it's a solid like graphic novel, and that's no diss to a manga. It just like there are certain ways that Japanese people write things that are just different here than the West. It has nothing to do with it being better or worse. It's just different, and to see that that Batman just translates universally is just cool to see. And I also just like seeing other people's interpretations of it, which I mentioned the Bat manga earlier, but if you guys want to also see me talk about that, I do own it, and I'm meaning to finish it. And I believe it might still be in print. You might be able to find it, but it's an older manga take on Batman, and it feels more newsprinty, very much more of an older version. But either way, even still, it's just super cool to see like a Japanese take on Batman. I think that's super cool to see. This just opens the door for many different possibilities, many different types of. I mean, already in the West, you get different people writing and drawing these stories that are different ethnicities because they have to, because DC and Marvel, they just are what they are. But now seeing them open up the door to producing more manga, to producing stuff like this, is really really exciting. There was also a Superman manga that I didn't get because it just didn't fit. It seemed like it would have fit my jive. But this Batman manga is really well done. It's called Justice Buster, and I don't want to spoil anything, but there does be a lot of Easter eggs in this thing. So the moment you read from one chapter to the next you're inundated with the world. You're inundated with the universe of DC Comics, and it's really fun. Like I said, one thing that I do have to stipulate on here, it's not really a spoiler because he's on the cover as well, but the Joker in this is a lot different than what you're familiar with, and he definitely shows up very early on. Volume 1, chapter I believe 2. He shows up and he's different. He's not at all what I expected personally. It's a completely different take. And I don't know whether I hate it or like it. I'm kind of in the middle of it. Right now, I don't mind it because I think it fits with what they're trying to establish here with this new version of Batman. And I think it's different. But I also think it's such a different take that I feel like they could inch their way back into the original looking Joker, because this Joker has a mask, like a full mask. This isn't just like there isn't no pate. He hasn't gone fully insane, or at least that's not what it seems like. This Joker's a detective, and he's trying to help Batman, and it's definitely an interesting take. It's not one I would have ever expected, that's for sure. But like I said, it may throw you off. It may actually turn you off from the series too if you get to that point. That's why I feel like I need to say it up front in case anybody wants to read it after watching this video. Be aware that the Joker in this is not the Joker that you are familiar with. But if you can get past that, if you're open to new takes, new ideas, new things, then again, this is such a fluid read. It's so well done. I need to talk about it more in depth. The Robin in this is different. The villains are familiar, but also could be taken differently. And we haven't seen any of the other villains. We haven't seen all of them yet, so we don't know what other directions they're going to take with the villains, which is also exciting. So I really do and did enjoy this, and I'm happy to say that this isn't the only volume. That there's volume 2 and maybe a 3 of Batman Justice Buster. So I'm gonna be here reading them. Probably do videos on them like I did with this one, except more in depth and more spoilery. So I might do a spoiler video on this volume for people that did read it or people that have read it. Right now, I just want to let people know, in case you didn't know, which I don't, maybe I'm late to the game. I don't know, but if you didn't know, Batman Justice Buster is out. You could get it from in Target. Might still be there, if not Walmart, maybe not. If not, for sure Barnes and Noble. But either way, go to a bookstore. If you're a Batman fan, I highly recommend it. It's if you like Batman, if you like manga / anime, this is for you. It's really well done, and I'm excited to read it. And I'm excited to read volume 2 of it. So with that being said, you guys let me know what you guys thought. Let me know if you are on the same boat as me. Let me know if you are willing to sit through a spoilery video of the manga, because I'm just such a huge Batman fan, if you couldn't tell by the Batman videos that I make. Once I start making Batman videos, I feel like I'm just going to inundate the channel with Batman, but I will mix it up here and there. It's not going to be just Batman, but I do love me some Batman. Anyways, I'm just going to leave it at that. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Have a good one.